10-minute daily reality check for Thursday. Just checking my eyebrows to make sure they're still okay. Just telling that story yesterday at the end of the podcast always makes me think back of what an idiot I am at certain times in my life. You know, I'll own my idiocy. I really will. There are times I look in the mirror and look at myself and go, you're a fucking idiot, David. Jesus. I mean, I can't believe you actually said that or did that. I own my idiocy, too, and my fuck-up-isms.
Right.
You know, I mean, I'm so not perfect. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. I think every human being should have warning labels all over their body. On the bottom of their foot, it should say, warning. This person at one point in the relationship or friendship is going to do something really irritating and annoying. I think there should be a warning label on the side. You know, we should have tattoos tattooed into the side of us going, warning. The Surgeon General clearly states that hanging with this person may or may not be good for your health at certain times. I think we should be wrapped up in a pack, and at the outside of the pack, it should be a warning. Warning. Falling in love with this person may cause you serious heartbreak and heartache at times. Because we all have fuck-up-isms, idiotisms, triggers, fears. We're just human beings, so we might as well just have warnings all over us. I mean, I think I'm going to get a tattoo finally. And I'm going to get a tattoo on my back with a UPC label so they could scan me across the thing at Whole Foods. Because there are some days that I'm just such an idiot that I really am 2 for $20. You know, there are other days that I really got my shit together and I'm really fucking amazing that I'm worth the $199 price tag, you know? But there are days that I should be in the 75% off bin.
3 for $5.
3 for $5. There's weeks that I have that I should be totally marked down every single day. Hey, we got David Wygant today. He's an emotional idiot this week. Let's mark him down one more time. He was $199. Today he's $129. Oh, look, he's still being an idiot the next day. He's down to $99. And by Friday, I'm in the clearance bin, hanging out with all the other fucking idiots that have the warning labels all over their bodies. So, oh man, I'll tell you, life is just really funny. I mean, it really is. So today's episode is all about Brett.
It's about validation. It's about what triggers you. What's that one thing in your background? And a lot of the times it'll come from some really significant experience. Maybe in childhood. Mine comes from, adolescence, and I'll tell you exactly what it was. And what's that one thing where you feel makes you, like, at the time you didn't feel good enough for some reason, right? Not feeling good enough is a big thing, and we've all experienced it at one time or another, so what triggers you? For me, it was, I'm not afraid to say it. I'll raise my hand and say I dropped out of high school. I was a high school dropout, right? 17 years old. 17 years old, thought I was really fucking smart. I looked at my mother and I said, yeah, there's nothing in high school for me. I'm going to drop out. And she was like, okay, good idea. So I did. When I was 19 and finally stopped doing all the really dumb, destructive shit that I was doing, I took a GED. I applied to one school. I applied to NYU Film School, which is a pretty good school. And by some fucking miracle, I got in, right? That's my trigger. Education. Where'd you go to school? That whole thing. Like, I feel validated because I went to college. I have a college degree. I still have it framed. I paid for it myself. Like, that's my trigger. What's your trigger?
Oh, this is like a new game show. What's your trigger? Hey, this is David Wygant and Brett Parker, co-host for the TV show, game show, What's Your Trigger? For $1 million, if you confess your trigger today in front of a national audience, in front of all your loved ones and potential loved ones in the future, telling them your fuck-up-ism and your trigger. What's my trigger? I got many things that will trigger me. I mean,
when did you not feel good enough?
When did I not feel good enough? I think when I get vulnerable, vulnerable and not validated makes me...
Tell the story about being at the Scarsdale pool.
Oh, Jesus. All right. That one? Yeah, all right. Let's not go into that. It goes even deeper than that. I think it was 6th grade, Amy Huddish. You remember it. Allison Williams and all the girls told me that I need to go ask her out. She likes me, right? I think you even said, call her on the phone, call her on the phone. And I waited and waited and waited and waited and waited. Amy Huddish was hot, probably the prettiest girl in sixth grade, one of the top three, right? By far. I couldn't believe it. And you just kept saying, get on the phone, get on the phone. So I think, I don't know if you were over that night when I got on the phone with her, or I was there in the closet by myself, because remember when we used to do it, we used to hang out in the closet. And I remember calling her on the phone, and her mother answers, hello, in a motherly voice. And I'm like, hi, like Peter Brady, right? What? Is Amy there? What? Hi, can I talk to Amy? Who's calling, please? David. Wygant. David who? Wygant. Okay, hold on one second. And your heart's beating, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, can you imagine now? You just have to text them. You don't have to go through this teenage shit anymore,
It's all Snapchat.
All Snapchat. So she says, hi. I go, hi. Do you want to go out? I mean, I didn't even warm her up at all, right? I mean, I just think I just went right into it. She goes, no.
Oh, that's what she said?
No. And I'm thinking to myself, what do you mean no? And I reacted. I got triggered. I got upset. Why? Because my mother was kind of abandoned me at times, and the trigger was not feeling desired or wanted, right? And I didn't know about it then. I was 11 or 12 years old. I didn't understand it. So then I said, well, I don't understand. I mean, all your friends told me you wanted to go out with me. And she goes, well, I don't. And I said, well, you know what? All your friends are bitches. And I hung up the phone.
And so a dating coach was born.
And the next day I remember, I reacted. I remember going into school, taking the bus. I was upset that morning going in. And the first girl that came over to me, I think, was Allison Williams. And Allison looked at me. I heard that you called me a bitch. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, this is not going to end. This is just the beginning of the pure torture. And I heard it all day long from everybody. I was apologizing all day long. And I even said to Allison, I don't understand. You pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to ask her out. She goes, yeah, and I pushed you for weeks. You waited too long. So I guess that really formulated maybe not being good enough. And it took me probably to using women as validation. During my college years, I wanted to, who banged this girl and who banged that girl. We'd sit around and we would talk about it like women were pieces of objects, right? And I remember in my 20s in New York, my early 20s, it was all being validated. And I was always pushing really good women aside. I remember this girl, Karen, that was absolutely beautiful that I didn't go out with because she wasn't hot enough. But then, of course, the next summer I saw her and she was like super fucking hot and all my friends called me an idiot. I heard that a lot. And I was always using women as validation. It's like, you see, I'm good enough. You see, I can get her. And I was definitely pushing good relationships. And it's funny, now that I look back upon like my naive 20s, I was pushing some really amazing relationships aside because instead of thinking about what I wanted in my future, I was so busy being validated. Women were like a drug, a validation drug to me. And I'm not like that anymore. I mean, I do like to flirt, but I could care less. I mean, I'm flirting because I like to get to know somebody in that moment. And I don't need any validation, whether she likes me or not, or I can get a hot girl or a young girl or whatever. I just want, amazing in my life. So it's taken me a lot to grow up, but that's pretty much how the dating business or the dating coach, I was in a relationship when this dating coach business came and I was being validated on a regular basis in the relationship. But for some reason or another, I was able to really understand people's desire to be wanted and desired. And I was able to really tap into all their fears.
Sure. Well, finding that moment, that trigger for you where you're not feeling good enough is so important. Like for David, it happened and gave birth to the person that now has this podcast. Or like one of your favorite people to talk about is Tom Brady, right? What's Tom Brady's trigger? His trigger was not being drafted high. He was like 5 or 6. How many quarterbacks were taken in front of Tom Brady?
Just about everyone that year.
Okay. And how many Super Bowls has he won?
5.
5 Super Bowls, and he's still pissed off.
Yeah, he's still pissed off.
He's still pissed off.
Still pissed off, and so is Belichick.
Right.
Belichick was under Bill Parcells for all those years. Didn't want to be the New York Jets coach because he decided that he wanted to be his own man. Parcells was hired by Leon Hess to go from coach to general manager, and Belichick was so pissed off, he goes, fuck you, I'm resigning. And then he went to the Patriots, the team that competed against the Jets, and literally has won 5 Super Bowls and has won 14 division titles in 15 years. Because he's still pissed off. You look at him at the sidelines and they call it the hoodie. He's still angry, he's still pissed off, and he's still validating himself.
Right. So a lot of us walk around with the I'm not good enough feeling about something. And you know, it's a lot of us, it's about the life that you really want. It's the things what was that one thing you really want? Is it the car? Is it the guy? Is it the girl? Is it the whole thing? Is it the whole sort of life and lifestyle? Do you want the beach house? Do you want, you know what I mean? Like, what is that one thing that triggers you that you're walking around with? I'm not good enough for, you know, a happy, loving family with kids and whatever. I'm not good enough for, like, there's something that triggers you. And if you can really put your handle on it and own it, well, then that's the first step to getting out of that I'm not good enough feeling and moving towards your, you know, sort of revelation and making that into a positive and making that into something that actually helps you change your life.
In order to do that, you need help, guidance. That, you know, anybody who's trying to do it on their own, you won't do it. I mean, I can...
If you could have, you would have.
Right. Yeah, exactly. If you could have, you would have. And if you think you've healed, and if you think you're fine, and you think everything's great, I'll call you out on your bullshit every single day, because we all have our triggers, we all have our isms, we all have our things. And getting help doesn't mean you're weak. And that's one of the things that this big internet guru once said. The best, I'm not going to mention him by name, the best 4-letter word you can possibly have is not fuck, is not fuck you, is not oh shit, it's help.
Absolutely.
Help is the best 4-letter word you can possibly use. Because if you use that word, you're then going to get the help that you want. You're going to be able to be the person that you want to be, and you're going to be able to live the life, whether it's love, financial, whatever it might be. Anyway, join us tomorrow. There's more isms coming your direction. 10-minute daily reality check out. Goodbye.